Gonna talk to a quick Solak kill. Setup with this is going to be with range and using Bic arrows. This is basically just stacking poison damage over a longer fight. This will speed things up, and it's not going to be super reliant on like rotations or anything like that. It's also one of the safer strategies because you can get healing from your Reaver and Vampirism, which still bonuses your damage when you're proccing a bunch of hit splats. With Reaver, it just procs more poison damage, and so you're not missing out on damage, and you're kind of being safe, which is always a good thing. So you definitely want Weapon Poison plus plus, Overload. I'm going to do that. Okay. So to start, kind of the first mechanic you're going to see is the green pad. You can either stand on that to negate the damage, or you can Vit Burst and just tank it. It's going to hit you for like an 8k, and then once that mechanic goes, it'll put a bar over your head, which is going to hit you for another bomb, and that explodes. You can use any defensive to really negate this. Most people just use Disruption Shield or Res right at the last second. If you're base tanking or soloing, you're going to have to be like tick perfect on timing, so it's better just to use either Disruption Shield and Res, or like just Reflect. It just will make things a lot easier. Typically when I'm teaching people how to do a fight, I basically will just say use a defensive, in which case you can use any defensive. My top two that I would probably recommend is Res and Reflect. Sorry, Disruption Shield and Res. Disruption Shield's kind of the best because you don't even lose damage, you just negate the damage, and you can keep attacking. It's a lunar spell, super handy. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start the fight here. If it's far away, I'll probably just tank it. We'll see where it's at. No, I'll just grab that. Okay, so I got the bar over my head. Since I'm basing right here at the end, I'm just going to Res and Disruption Shield, so then I don't have to worry about those double hit splats. Now we're just doing damage. Walk a bleed. Maybe. Let's see, we're just trying to get these stacks up. Okay, at 50 seconds, I like to go ahead and start clearing these roots out. One thing you need to worry about when you're clearing these roots out is that we want to make sure we don't lose our big stacks on Solak. So basically, you just need to make sure you tag him. I think it has to be a okay, roots are coming out. We got 5 seconds. I'm just going to use Freedom or Anticipate and then walk away as it comes out. How that mechanic works is it literally will just bring out roots that will stun you and damage you. And so as that timer goes to 0, you want to be walking away from the arrow. If you're in a group, you want to be close to it before you walk away from it. That way you don't pull roots across the entire arena and damage your teammates. Okay, we're good. Okay, I'm just getting him down to 1.5 here, and then we'll have arms and legs, which I can soul split back up, so I don't need to worry about food right here. Okay, arms and legs. After these arms, I like to Dust Swiftness and get ready for the core just to try to one cycle it, so we don't have to do it multiple times. Careful if you target cycle, sometimes you'll target him, not his leg. Okay, so we can go ahead, Dust Swiftness, Dren. Make sure my Reaver's healthy. I kind of need to make sure I do damage here because I was slacking. I just use Tendrils, Rapid Fire. and then like SGB, and it basically is dead. I did ECB prior. Okay, after this I want to make sure I tag Solak just to keep Bix up, and then I'm gonna either kill this or weaken it, hit the elf, kill that, get in the green, and then I'm gonna bladed dive over here after I get that message. Tag Solak, make sure we're keeping our Bix up. Spam click the core, then go south. I'm gonna just instantly clear this one. Make sure I tag Solak. Keeping the Bix stacks is like huge. Okay, that'll die to poison, so I'm just gonna kill these now. Make sure I tag Solak. I might have waited too long there, which I hope I didn't. Okay, back on Solak. I'm gonna call my familiar and use another heal to keep him healthy. I'm gonna take a res. Okay, during these bombs, I like to stand on these stairs because ideally it keeps you away from most of them. One might spawn under his feet that still can hit you, but it's not a huge deal. I don't know why my vuln bombs are so low, but I'm going to save that last one for the last phase. Also during this phase, if you're on Necro or range, like ECV damage or split soul damage directly phases this health bar, which is nice. Okay, you got to grab one of those, and then when he puts his arm up, just click on this, and it'll put a shield over you. I like to Vit Burst here, and overload's out. I like to Vit Burst here and use a defensive as well. I might not have been overloaded this whole time. Oh yeah, I was. And then you can step out and res one too if you need. Oh, I was on the last one. We'll take that as a res. Okay, you can use Anticipator Freedom here. Right after that mechanic, and this is they'll say arm climb typically. You just click on his arm once he hits the ground. If you don't walk away from that attack, it'll insta kill you. And then after you climb, he's gonna hit you for a big melee. I just use Disruption Shield and pray melee. Okay, since we're at 400 stacks, bleeds are really good now too. If you were slow here, you can grab another one of those when his arm goes up. When it says it's going to rain down upon you, you just put another shield up and you're good. To make this phase easier, we can cleanse these stacks here by talking to the elf, standing in the green beam. This is bugged right now. I don't know why, but you can't see like your charge timing, but we need to charge these pads by having Solak stand on them. During this phase, when he spazzes out like that, it drops a bomb on the pad, and then you can split soul and or soul split to heal back up. The other mechanic that he can do during this is he'll stun you, and then it applies blight damage over time, and so you need to make sure you freedom and then stun him back like this. His arm turns blue like that, and now I'm going to stun him. Let's say it has stun Solak. Otherwise you kind of take this like little blight bleed damage over time. Okay, to get this done, we need to make sure we're killing this elf to go into the next phase. We can do this over time by using our special action and going up. I'll show you real quick, but we want to make sure he's at 200k HP before we actually kill the elf, so I'll just do a little bit of damage here. Not trying to kill him at all. So I'm just going to slow down. Oh, you can't heal up here, so if you get low, just pray range. And then make sure you pray melee as you come out, because you'll get smacked by Solak. Need to heal my Reaver. Freedom, and stun him anytime he says that. I can go ahead and res here. I'm going to go ahead and charge one more pad to be safe, because I want him to be down to 200,000 in a solo. If you're in a duo and somebody's like tanking for you, you'll have to get him to 300,000, but for this I'll just make it a little easier. My Grim wasn't even on. Stun. We can res that. I'll tag him with like 2 bleeds, and then actually one's good, and then just go up. Okay, now we want to kill this guy. It's okay if we lose health here, because it's kind of good for the last phase to be a little bit lower on health, just so we can get the free heals, which procs poison damage. Okay, we're going to run back here, and we're going to use our ultimate. Adren pot, Vuln. We're just trying to do a ton of damage here, but we got to wait till he runs back. Okay, so ECB, and I'm going to use tendrils just so I lose some health. Alright, super easy. I basically just did tendrils, rapid fire, both Last Guardian, SGV. It does not need to be precise if you have big stacks going up though.